So, hello everyone, welcome to this 11-hour complete Fast API Bootcamp. In this live session, we are going to build real world API from scratch using Python and Fast API. This course is designed for beginner as well as developer who want to move into backend development. So, we will start from the fundamental and many more advanced concept like a CRUD operation, request handling, and project structure. Okay, so if you are preparing for the placement interview or planning to build a real backend project, this session will help you a lot. Okay, so this is a long session, so feel feel free to follow along and ask your doubt in the live chat. I will be checking chat regularly and answering your question in between. Okay, so let's get start. So okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Wait a minute. Hello guys, this is not a Python course. This is a backend engineering course using FastAPI. If you already know Python basics, you are ready. If you pause here and go to my Python playlist and come back here. Okay, I mentioned my Python playlist in description. Okay, you should already know Python function and classes, basic imports, and virtual environment. Okay, basic idea of virtual environment, but I will show you how to create virtual environment. Okay, so here we can see how website work. Okay, so you can see here, this is the diagram. Okay, so this is how every modern website work. It doesn't matter it is if it is Instagram, Amazon, or Netflix. Okay, on the left side you can see, on the left side we have the browser. This is the client. Okay, it can be a website or a mobile app or even another server. Okay, this browser never talk directly to the database. Okay, here I have database. Okay, this browser never talk directly to the database. When we click a button here in the browser, okay, the browser send http request here. Browser send http request here. Okay, an http request is just a message. It say I want some data, or I want to save data. Okay, this http request say I want some data or I want to save data. Okay, okay, and you can see here after this I have api. So this is where fast api lives. Okay, fast api receive the request and check it, run the business logic and decide what to do next. Fast api is the brain of our backend. Okay, now we move here in database. Okay, so database store the real data. This database are going to use for store the real data. Okay, like users, order, password, everything. Okay, only the api is allow, this api allow to talk to the database. So fast api talk to the database using sql query or an orm like sql alchemy. Okay, here. Okay, now you can see this arrow. Okay, the database send raw data back to the fast api here. Okay, the database send raw data back to the fast api. Fast api convert this into this json data. Fast api convert. Yes. error and server messed up. Here we can see one example. Okay, you are ordering a pizza. Okay, 200 means pizza delivered at your home. Okay, 404 means pizza shop not found. 401 means you didn't log into the app, and 500 means kitchen caught fire. Now we can understand with this URL. Okay, this is the URL, or you can say endpoint. Okay, so first of all we need to understand path parameter. Oh, identify a specific thing. Path parameter are used to identify a specific parameter. Okay, so here user, this one user. Okay, user number 42. So this is our identifying to the specific person. Okay, 42, 43, 44, 45. Okay, so here this is used for specifying the specific user. Okay, so this is called a path parameter, identify specific things. Okay, 42 means this user. Now we can see query parameter, or you can say filter. Okay, so question mark active is equals to true and limit equals to 10. You can see here this is our URL. Okay, user 42. Okay, this is our path parameter, and active equals to true. So it means this line active equals to true. Okay, it active equals to true. Active equals to true means so only active user. Okay, active equals to true, it means it will going to show you active user, and limit result equals to 10. So it will show you 10 active user. Okay, so 10 is the limit. Okay, so query parameter are filter and options. Okay, so here you can see user 42 specific user. Okay, here this is the params, user 42 specific user, and user question mark active equals to true means filter user. Okay, header. Header is like envelope with the hidden note inside. लिफाफा के अंदर छुपा हुआ note. Okay, header means envelope with the hidden note inside. Okay, so header are invisible information sent with every request. Okay, not a part of the URL or not a part of the body. Header are individual information sent with every request, not part of the URL and not part of the body. Okay, so header just like this: authorization bearer token, content equals to type application, content type equals to application JSON. Okay, and accept application JSON. Okay, so we will understand this after some time. Okay, so header is equals to ID card, language, and rules. Okay, now we are going to understand body. The body is where you send the real data to the server, mostly used with post, put, and fetch. Okay, so body is where you send real data to the server, mostly used with post, put, and fetch. Okay, so here you can see this is the body like this. Okay, here you are going to send name, that is Amit. Okay, and you are again going to send email address. Okay, by using post method, put method, or fetch method. Okay, so URL equals to be bear. Okay, method equals to what an action, body is equals to actual data. Okay, now we can see JSON. Okay, so API mostly speak one language, that is JSON. JSON is just structured text like this. Okay, in curly bracket means object, curly braces means object. Okay, and here you can see key in quotes, that is name is also in quotes, and age is also in quotes. Okay, so key in quotes. Okay, string in quotes. Okay, and number no quotes. Okay, so this is the JSON. Okay, I hope you got it. API mostly speak one language, that is JSON. JSON is just structured text. Now we can see here full request. Okay, So here you can see endpoint equals to URL method, URL plus method, and request equals to everything sent to the server, everything that you send to the server. Okay, so request equals to path parameter, query parameter, head parameter, and body parameter. Okay, so request, request is a combination of these path parameter, query parameter, and headers and body. Okay, so this is I have one example. Okay, so this is the real API request. FastAPI just help you to handle each part cleanly. Okay, so here you can see this is the body part. Body part, email address equals to body equals to email. If you are going to send any email, okay, so email equals to new@mail.com. Okay, so here you can see post equals to action. Okay, so here you can see post means action, user hyphen 42, it means here user hyphen 42, these are the path parameter, okay, for a specific user. Okay, notify question mark notify equals to true is equal, it's mean query parameter. Okay, query parameter, not question mark notify equals to true. Okay, this is query parameter. And here header equals to auth and format. Okay, so this is a auth and format. Okay, this is the header, auth and format. And body is equals to data. This is the data. I hope you got it. So FastAPI is built exactly around this. Okay, path parameters, query parameters, header, body, and status. Okay, I forgot to mention status here, but uh, status also present here. Okay, so FastAPI is built exactly around this path parameter, query parameter, headers, body, and status code. If you understand this, FastAPI feel natural, not magical. Okay, so this is the body. Okay, and here post means action, path parameter, notify user equals to query parameter, headers, auth and format, and body equals to data. Now we are going to understand path operation. Path operation define what action an API perform on a URL. What action an API perform on a URL. Different action use different HTTP methods. Okay, different actions use a different HTTP method. Okay, path operation define what action an API perform on the URL. Okay, so here you can see app.get. Okay, and here you can see user, this is the path slash user. Okay, so here this is used for app.get means get API. You can read by using this API. Okay, so you can read the any information of the user by this API. Okay, so this is the path user. Okay, here app dot at the here you can see here this is the decorator. Okay, so get is used to fetch the data. Okay, it does not change anything. Okay, here you can see app.post. Okay, and user app post means we are going to create something. Or okay, so post is used to send the data and create something new. Okay, app.put. Okay, so put is used to update the full data. Okay, if you have someone, okay, if you have one user data with ID number 30. Okay, so you can search user's ID there, like user number 50. Okay, so you can search by ID user slash, here you can write 50. So it you can update the, after this you can update the full data of the user by using put. Okay, and patch is similar to this, but here we are going to update the partial data means half data. Okay, by using user ID. And app.delete is equals to, here this is the path user and here this is the ID. So delete and remove the data. Okay, so here we are going to delete and remove the data. So we can also write like this at the right app, it's a decorator. Okay, here I am going to write one path. Okay, so this is the path guys. Okay, here this one is path. Okay, so this is the path, this is also path, this one, these are the path. Okay, f dot get. Okay, I miss get from here. Okay, so this is the path. This line connect the URL with the function. This line connect the URL with the function, or in Swagger shows all the path operation automatically. Okay, so path operation tell FastAPI what to do when a URL is called. Okay, path operation tell FastAPI what to do when URL is called. Okay, should I create the user? Should I get the user? Okay, should I update the user? Should I delete the user? Okay, so path operation tell FastAPI what to do when URL is called. Okay, I hope you got it. Get means read the data. Okay, get means you read the data. Post means create the data. Patch and put. Put and patch means update the data. Okay. And delete means remove the data. Okay. And FastAPI use this decorator path for operations. Okay. FastAPI use this decorator path for operation. For path operation. FastAPI use this decorator for path operation. That's why we use everywhere like this. @app means it's a decorator. I hope you got it. What is the path parameter? If you already know this, skip ahead. If not, rewatch this one. Because every FastAPI endpoint is built from these exact pieces. Now we are going to understand what is FastAPI, okay, and why we use FastAPI. So FastAPI is a Python framework used to build an API. It helps your backend receive the request, process the data, send response in a JSON. Or in short, you can say FastAPI helps different applications talk to each other. FastAPI helps different documents talk to each other. Okay, why do we use FastAPI? Because it is easy to learn. If you know the basic Python, you can start FastAPI. Okay, so that's why it is easy to learn. Okay, and second, very fast to build API. Okay, with very little code, you can create a working API. Okay, third is automatic documentation. Fast API create API documentation automatically. You get your Swagger UI and redoc. You don't write documents separately. Okay, fourth is built-in data validation. Fast API check the data for you. Okay, if the client send wrong data, Fast API catch the error. You don't write extra code. And fifth is modern Python support. Fast API use modern Python library like type hints. Okay, this means fewer works, better editor support, and cleaner code. Okay, so Fast API is a modern, fast, and easy Python framework for building API with automatic validation and documentations. Okay, or you can say when to use Fast API. Use Fast API when you are building API for web app or mobile app or microservices. Now we are going to understand what is virtual environment. Virtual environment is a private Python setup for one project. So its library don't clash with other project. Virtual environment is a private Python setup for a one project. So its library don't clash with the other project. Now I am going to create one folder. Here folder name is Fast API hands on Fast API. ओके, तो अब मैं अपना विजुअल स्टूडियो खोलूंगी यहाँ पर. Okay, if you don't have Visual Studio, you can download. Here you can open your Visual Studio. Okay, After this, we can open from here. This is my folder. Okay, now you can open your terminal. Okay, so here we can create our virtual environment. So I can create my virtual environment with this command python -m venv. Okay, so here I got my new virtual environment, that is venv. Okay, it took time, so here we can create our requirement.txt. Okay, so here we can install everything. Now I got this folder here. Okay, this folder has includes library and script. Okay, so this is our virtual environment. Okay, and this. from FastAPI, f should be small, okay? FastAPI, I'm going to import what? I'm going to import FastAPI. Okay, so here we import the FastAPI from the FastAPI package. I already explained this, okay? And here I'm going to create our app instance, okay? That is app equals to FastAPI. Oh, break it, okay? So this line create our FastAPI application, this one. Okay, everything in this app will be attached to this app. Okay, after this, what I'm going to create? I'm going to create decorator. So our decorator is like this app.get. Okay, here I'm going to pass the path parameter. This is very important. Okay, so here app.get. Inside this I need to pass in quotes. Okay, here I'm going to pass users. Okay, here slash, again I'm going to pass in bracket, curly bracket. Okay, user id, and here I'm going to pass orders. Okay, orders. Here I'm going to pass what? Order array. Okay, so here this is our what? Here user id and order id is the path parameter. Okay, then I open this what? User id. For example, I have this URL. When I'm going to open this users slash file and orders slash what? 20. So here we can see I need to comment this. Okay, so here in FastAPI automatically take 5 as a user id. Okay, 5 is the user id and order id, that is 20. Okay, I hope you got it. The value come from the URL, not from the request body. Okay, the value come here from the URL, not from the request body. So this is called our path parameter. Path parameter are the variable. Okay, path parameter are variable part of the URL. Okay, path parameter are the variable part of the URL used to pass data. Okay, so here you can see I am going to pass user ID and order ID. Okay, so it will automatically take 5 is the user and order is the 20. 20 is the order. Okay, so you can also see here I'm going to write here http colon, okay, and slash localhost colon 8000 http localhost colon 8000 user. Okay, so this is the complete URL. Okay, http localhost. Okay, I forget to explain this, what is the http and the localhost. Okay, so here http means how browser and server talk. Okay, http means. Okay, and this number 800 is the port where FastAPI is running. Okay, local host means my own computer. Okay, local host means my own computer, and http means how browser and server talk. Okay, and 800 means port number where FastAPI is running. Okay, and user, and this is the user number, user id, and order number. Okay, so path parameter, what is the path parameter? I hope you got it. The path parameter are the variable part of the URL used to pass the data. Variable part of the URL. Okay, so user may be user ID may be 10, user ID may be 11. Okay, so these are the variable part. Path parameter is a variable part of the URL. Okay, and order ID also variable here. So these are the path parameter. Okay, now I am going to create one function, def get order. Here I am going to pass user ID, this user ID. Okay, so user ID should be in integer. Okay, because we want number. Okay, and order ID should be in number also. So that's why I need to write here integer colon here. Okay, then I can return what I'm going to return here, user ID and order ID. So here I'm going to return user ID colon user ID comma, I am going to return this also. This is in string. Okay, that's why I need to write this in a double quotes. Okay, now it is perfect. Break it also, I have closed, I already closed. Okay, wait a minute. So you can see here, this is our function get order, and I am passing here user ID and order ID. Okay, so now I am going to run this. Okay, but here FastAPI match the path parameter with the function parameter. Okay, here user ID and order ID are integer. FastAPI automatically validate the type. Okay, if I send a string instead of a number, FastAPI will return an error. Okay, so here like I want to send here integer. Okay, so that's why I put here int. Okay, if you pass here string, then FastAPI will give you error. Okay, so I'm going to run this. Okay, so here I need to close this. Okay, I need to write our file name. What is our file name? File name is this b path parameter. Okay, so here I'm going to run and change here file name. Okay, I'm going to reload. Oh, I got error, could not import. Oh, what happening here? Error import by path manager. Oh, I did mistake, guys. You can't do it. Okay, I also mentioned .py. Okay, so I don't need to mention this. Okay, here I am going to rerun.